7 ways couples can create a safe, loving space if they're having these differences. It's real. It can end a marriage. It can make life miserable in your home when you truly don't agree with things and you can't see eye to eye. So ask yourself these questions. Number one, establish ground rules. What respectful communication guidelines can you agree on to ensure both people feel safe during discussions? How can you be respectful of one another? What can you agree on? And I think number two really helps with that, active listening. How can you practice listening to understand rather than just to respond? And what would that look like in your conversations? Well, active listening is probably one of the biggest challenge in marriage because we listen to respond while the other person is talking. Maybe they started in on a topic we didn't agree with, and we're already calculating our answer before we finish listening to the other person. They then feel disrespected because we're not listening. I've done it. My husband's done it. You know, we've been married many, many years. And yes, it happens to all of us. But when we're really disagreeing and we're having a lot of arguments, we have to stop and really listen with respect, the respect that we would want to have ourselves. I like to be listened to. I like to have a person's eyes. I like to know they're listening intently, that they're part of the conversation. And so, one thing that you can do is ask questions. Well, why do you feel that way? And why do you think that's a benefit here or a benefit there? Think of questions so that you can clarify. And you have to watch your tone of voice. Yeah. So, when we're talking, we have to take a breath, blow out, we have to stay calm, and we have to be intent on finding out truly how our spouse feels about that and why they feel that way, and really try to see their side and see their point of view. Really, whether it's capitalism or whether it's socialism, whatever it is, we want to see their side. This makes them feel appreciated and heard, and we ask them to do the same for us. So establish ground rules, the first being learning to listen. The third one, focus on your common values. Yeah, you liked something about each other when you got married, right? Can you identify your shared beliefs or values, the ones that unite you, and how might these serve as a foundation for your discussions? What do you have in common? And you may be shaking your head because you're disgusted with your spouse and you're like, we don't have anything in common anymore. Yeah, you do. You had something in common, but anger, frustration, bitterness, it's like a growth. It's like mold. Whenever a tomato or apple or any kind of food starts to get a little bit of mold on it, if you ever notice, if you don't clip off that mold, if you don't get rid of it, it starts to grow and grow and grow until that piece of fruit or tomato or whatever it is destroyed. It's turned into mush. And you don't want that for your marriage. You don't want it turned into mush. And you don't want to wait till it's too late. Too often people wait too long. Do you need a mediator? Do you need to understand more about each other? I have at the Extraordinary Marriage an online class, and it is on demand. All you have to do is pay for it and go through the course. It is called Rediscover Your Spouse. You will first begin to understand yourself and your top emotions, why you respond the way you do, why you act the way you do, your strengths, your challenges, your blind spots. And then as you first learn about yourself, because that's the first person we think of, right? You'll start to learn about your spouse and you'll start to understand your spouse and you'll understand why they react the way they do. Nothing to do with politics, but you'll understand how they think and act and respond differently than you do. And that's called Rediscover Your Spouse. Simple, print the print the guides, go through the class, go through it again if you need to, and then share it with your spouse. You go first. All right, let's see where we were. Active listening, common values. Number 4, set aside time for discussions. And when you are both fresh, rested, and you're in the mood to talk. Yeah. Don't sit down when you're exhausted at the end of the day and have conversations. Make sure you're both fresh, rested, and in your best mood. Make a decision when you're going to sit down and have conversations. And the more conversations and the more different things you do together, the more you have in common and the more things that bring you together. And then the things like politics won't divide you in such a big way. Number 5, seek to be understood. What questions can you ask to clarify your partner's perspective before sharing your own? Let me read that one again. Seek to understand. What questions, I said that earlier, can you ask to clarify your partner's perspective before sharing your own? Don't be loud. Don't be sarcastic. Be understanding. Really listen to understand. Number 6, agree to disagree. Yeah, sometimes you have to do that. Agree to disagree. How can you recognize and embrace the idea that it's okay to have different views while still maintaining love and respect for one another? Is there a clear reason your spouse feels and believes the way they do? Agree to disagree. I think one of my sayings on that, like, is a lot of times when I'm working on something, I say, "Oh, well, good enough." And I think that, you know what, when we've had a discussion and maybe it was a heated discussion and I'm thinking, he's not really listening to me. Well, you know what? I have to agree to disagree. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I'm thinking, good enough. That's my other word, whatever. I'm thinking, okay, whatever. I'm moving on. Number 7, prioritize relationship. In what ways can you remind each other that your relationship is important and that political views, especially during challenging conversations, just don't matter so much? So, how about, make sure I'm in the right spot. Um, how about developing a funny word? I heard this a long time ago. Something that just you and your spouse share that you know when the word's said, it's like I think something used to be said like uncle, like I give. But it could be not a I give, but hey, truce, truce. A word I like, I don't know, I like monkeys. So I might say monkey. Maybe, and it has to be something that you don't usually use in a conversation. So think of some kind of funny word, lighten up a little bit and have that word that when the discussion just gets too deep, it's time to just say that code word and that, okay, let's stop and we'll take this up again later. Good enough, whatever, letting go. Until next time, remember to listen first and that love is the ultimate bridge. Thanks for tuning in to the Extraordinary Marriage Podcast with me, Connie Durham. Remember, every marriage has its bumps in the road, but with the right tools and encouragement, you can turn those bumps into stepping stones. Focus less on frustrations and more on what you love about each other. Grow together, laugh together, and love forever. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, share, and leave a review. Join me next time as we keep exploring how you can build the kind of marriage that feels extraordinary. Until then, keep showing up, keep listening, and keep loving. You've got this.